Welcome to the Prescott Lab Podcast, not just theory, practical science for everyone. I'm Dr. Jonathan Prescott, a physician and integrative medicine researcher at the Ravenshade Institute for Human Health. Gentlemen, let's make a deal right now. If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that button and tap the like while you're at it. Every single thumbs up you give is more than just a click. It's the fuel that keeps us creating the kind of men's health videos you won't find anywhere else. Think of it as you putting a log on the fire. The more logs, the warmer the room for every man who needs this. Today, we're talking about something so simple it almost sounds like a joke until you realize it's backed by hard science and decades of clinical experience. A small, almost effortless change to how you drink a single glass of warm water in the morning could do more for your erections than some of the most expensive pills on the market. I know what you might be thinking, warm water, really? Yes. And by the time we're done, you'll understand exactly why this works, how it works, and how to make it work for you starting tomorrow morning. You'll see how this habit quietly repairs your circulation, primes your body to respond like it used to, and can restore a part of your life you thought was gone for good. So settle in. Because once you hear why so many men start losing that edge after 60 and why it's not their fault, this will all make perfect sense. And when it does, you may never look at a glass of water the same way again. 1. The silent decline after 60. When a man walks into my office at 65, I can often read the truth in his eyes before he says a word. There's a mix of frustration, embarrassment, and something quieter, a kind of resignation, like he's already decided this is just part of getting older. Take Harold Bennett, for example, retired firefighter. Spent his life running toward danger, not away from it. He came in one Tuesday morning, sat down across from me and said, "Doc, I can still lift a grocery bag, mow the lawn, and carry my grandkids up the stairs, but I can't carry myself in the bedroom anymore." He laughed, but it wasn't the proud kind of laugh. Most men think this change happens overnight. One day you're fine, the next you're not. The truth? It's been sneaking up on you for years. Your blood vessels have slowly narrowed. The lining inside them, what we call the endothelium, has become less efficient at producing nitric oxide, the very signal that tells your arteries to open and flood the penis with blood. Your hormones shift, your nerves respond slower, and every late-night fast food run, every missed workout, every season of "I'll get back in shape next year" quietly stacks up. Here's the part most men never hear. The blood vessels in your penis are smaller than the ones in your heart. So, if they start failing, it's often your body's first whisper that your entire circulatory system is under strain. That bedroom problem might actually be the early warning siren for your heart, your brain, your future. And here's where Harold's story took a turn, because once he understood that what was happening below the belt was connected to everything above it, he realized it wasn't just about intimacy. It was about life. That's why in a moment, I'm going to show you the surprising role something as ordinary as warm water can play in turning this tide, and why most men have been overlooking it their entire lives. 2. Your erections are a health warning. Most men I talk to think their erection problems are a private matter, something to keep between themselves and maybe their partner. But in reality, your erections are one of the most honest indicators of your overall health. Think about it. The arteries in your penis are about the diameter of a coffee stirrer. Compare that to the ones feeding your heart. Those are closer to the width of a drinking straw. When plaque, inflammation, or damage starts building up, where do you think the trouble shows up first? Not in your chest, in your performance. I remember a patient, 62-year-old Frank Ramirez, who came to see me after months of just not feeling like himself. He thought it was only a libido issue, but the tests told a different story: early cardiovascular disease. His ED wasn't the problem. It was the symptom that led us to the real problem. And catching it early may have saved his life. That's why I tell men, don't ignore the whispers your body gives you. A weaker, slower, less reliable erection is often your body's polite way of saying, "Hey, something's clogging the pipes and it's not just down here." Here's the good news. If your erections are the canary in the coal mine, then improving them isn't just about pleasure, it's about prevention. Better blood flow down there means better blood flow everywhere. And that's where the story gets interesting. Because there's a simple, almost laughably ordinary morning habit that can help restore that flow and give your body the green light it's been missing. You've probably walked past it 1,000 times without realizing its power, and it's sitting right in your kitchen. 3. Why warm water works. Let's talk about this so-called ordinary habit, drinking warm water first thing in the morning. I know it sounds simple, maybe even boring, but the way it works inside your body is anything but. Here's what happens overnight. You go 6, 7, sometimes 8 hours without a sip of water. Your body loses fluid through breathing, sweating, even the air in your bedroom pulling moisture from you. By morning, your blood is a little thicker, a little slower, and your circulation is running in low gear. Now picture this, you pour yourself a glass of warm water, not scalding, not lukewarm, but like the heat of a comfortable bath. You take slow, steady sips. As that warmth enters your stomach, your blood vessels respond almost immediately. The smooth muscle in their walls relaxes. The pathways widen. Blood moves faster, easier. It's like opening up the highway at rush hour. And that's just the start. Warm water gently stimulates your metabolism, kickstarting your digestive system and flushing out metabolic waste that's built up overnight. Think of it as rinsing out the pipes before the day begins, pipes that carry the very blood your erections depend on. There's also a subtle vascular training effect. That regular, gentle dilation of your arteries each morning helps keep them more flexible, the same way stretching keeps muscles from tightening up. Flexible arteries respond faster when you need them, whether that's during a workout or during intimacy. I've had men come back after just a month of doing this daily and say, "Doc, it's not just my mornings that feel different, it's my whole day." Better energy, clearer focus, and yes, stronger, more dependable erections. Of course, there's a catch, and it's a big one. The benefits of warm water aren't guaranteed if you're making certain common mistakes. The mistakes so many men over 60 make, without realizing they're quietly undoing all the good they are trying to build. For the problem with cold water. The first thing most men do in the morning, open the fridge, grab a bottle, and take a long pull of ice-cold water. It feels refreshing, sure, but if your goal is stronger, more reliable erections, that frosty shock is working against you. Here's why. Cold water triggers your body's built-in survival response. Your blood vessels constrict to preserve core heat, tightening like a drawstring bag. That might be helpful on a blazing summer afternoon or after a sweaty workout, but first thing in the morning, when your circulation is already sluggish from hours of sleep, it's the last thing you want. Remember, erections depend on rapid, generous blood flow into some of the smallest arteries in your body. If those vessels start the day in tight and narrow mode, you're forcing your heart to work harder just to push the same amount of blood through, and in men over 60. That can mean slower arousal, weaker firmness, or nothing at all. Now contrast that with warm water. The gentle heat signals your vascular system to relax. The walls of your arteries loosen, blood flows freely. Your body feels less like it's bracing for a cold shock and more like it's ready for action. I've seen this play out countless times in patients who swapped their cold morning chug for a warm, steady glass. Within weeks, they weren't just telling me their performance had improved, they were feeling looser in the shoulders, lighter in the chest, and more alive overall. It's not magic, it's physiology. And here's the key, knowing warm is better than cold is only step one. If you really want this to work, you've got to get the how right, timing, temperature, amount, and a couple of powerful natural boosters that can turn this from just water into a true performance ritual. 5 step-by-step morning ritual. I've been in medicine for over 3 decades, and one thing I've learned is this: details make the difference. You can have the right idea and still get disappointing results simply because you're doing it the wrong way. And when it comes to using warm water for better erections, precision matters. So here's the exact morning ritual I give my patients, the same one that's turned things around for men in their 60s, 70s, even 80s. Step 1: timing is everything. The moment you wake up, before coffee, before breakfast, before checking your phone, head to the kitchen. Overnight, your body has gone without water for 6 to 8 hours. Your blood is thicker, your circulation slower. This is the window when hydration can have the biggest impact. Drink your warm water within 10 minutes of getting out of bed and you'll give your arteries an instant reason to open up. Step 2: get the right amount. Too little, and you won't see the benefit. Too much, and you'll feel bloated and sluggish. I tell my patients 10 to 12 ounces, that's about the size of a standard mug. Enough to wake up your system, but not so much that your stomach feels heavy. Step 3: nail the temperature. It should be warm like a comfortable bath, not boiling, not lukewarm. If it's too hot, you'll damage delicate tissues in your mouth and throat. Too cold, and you'll undo the very vascular benefits we're after. Aim for that ah moment when you take your first sip. Step 4: add natural performance boosters. 2 of my favorites: fresh lemon juice, rich in vitamin C and flavonoids that support healthy blood vessels. A pinch of fresh ginger, a natural circulatory stimulant that's been used for centuries. These additions don't just add flavor, they actively work with the warm water to encourage better blood flow and reduce inflammation. Step 5. Drink it mindfully. This isn't a chug-and-go situation. Hold the mug, feel the warmth in your hands, take slow sips, and imagine your arteries softening, your blood flowing freely, your body preparing to respond like it used to. When men commit to this exact routine daily for 30 days, I often hear the same thing. Doc, it's not just my mornings that feel different, it's my whole life. They report more energy, clearer thinking, and yes, a noticeable difference in the bedroom. But even the most perfectly executed morning ritual can be sabotaged if you make certain common mistakes. Mistakes that quietly erase all the progress you're trying to build. And that's exactly what we need to talk about next. 6 sabotage habits to avoid. I've seen it happen too many times. A man follows my warm water ritual exactly every morning without fail, yet weeks later he sits across from me frustrated saying, "Doc, I don't see much difference." And when we dig deeper, it turns out the problem isn't the warm water. It's what he's doing before and after that's killing his progress. Mistake number 1: coffee before water. I get it. That first cup is a comfort. A ritual you've had for decades. But here's the truth. Caffeine is a vasoconstrictor. It tightens your blood vessels, the exact opposite of what we want. If you drink coffee before your warm water, you're slamming the door shut before the circulation boost has a chance to kick in. Solution: always water first, coffee later. Mistake number 2: heavy, greasy breakfasts. A plate piled high with bacon, sausage, pancakes dripping with syrup, it might taste good. But it spikes inflammation in your bloodstream and makes your arteries less responsive. Remember, inflammation is the enemy of good blood flow. If you want to keep the morning boost going, choose lighter, cleaner fuel. Mistake number 3: sedentary mornings. You drink your warm water and then you sit for 3 hours at the kitchen table or in front of the TV. That's like filling the tank and never starting the engine. Even 5–10 minutes of light movement, a walk. Some stretches can double the benefit by getting that freshly thinned, oxygen-rich blood moving. Mistake number 4: alcohol hangover mornings. A night of drinking doesn't just leave you dehydrated, it injures the delicate lining of your arteries. If you're serious about improving erections, limit alcohol. Think of it as protecting the very fabric of your circulation. I often tell patients, warm water is like planting a seed, but if you dump coffee on it, trample it with processed food, and starve it of sunlight with hours of sitting, it will never grow. Protect the habit, and the habit will protect you. And when you do protect it, something remarkable happens, not just in your physical performance, but in the way you feel about yourself, your partner, and your life. That's what we're about to get into next. 7. Beyond the bedroom. Over the years, I've learned something important. When a man starts losing his ability to have strong, dependable erections, it's rarely just about sex. It's about who he feels he is. I remember Walter Green, 68 years old, former Marine, still walked with the straight back of a soldier. He came into my office one winter afternoon and told me, "Doc, I feel like a shadow in my own house." He and his wife still cared for each other, but the spark was gone. He'd stopped initiating a hug, stopped sitting next to her on the couch, not because he didn't want to, but because he was afraid it might lead to something he couldn't deliver. That's the quiet cost most men don't talk about. It's the way they start shrinking away from the very connections that once gave them life. And little by little, the distance grows in the bedroom, at the dinner table, in the heart. When Walter committed to the warm water habit, along with a few other small changes, something shifted. 6 weeks later, he walked in grinning. "It's not just working, Doc. I'm working again. I'm not hiding anymore." His wife noticed, his grandkids noticed, even his friends noticed the way he carried himself differently. Because here's the truth, when your sexual health improves, your energy rises, your mood lifts, your sense of self returns, you feel more alive. And that feeling spreads into every part of your life, the way you walk, the way you speak, the way you connect. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about reclaiming the man you still are, the man who was never gone, just waiting for the right signal to come back. And now that you know what's possible, it's time to take this from an idea you've heard to a habit you own. 8. Your 30-day challenge. If there's one thing I've learned after decades of helping men over 60, it's this: change doesn't come from knowing, it comes from doing. So here's my challenge to you starting tomorrow morning. Step 1: make the decision tonight. Before you go to bed, put a clean mug on the counter and make sure you've got fresh lemon and ginger in the kitchen. Set the stage so there are no excuses when you wake up. Step 2: warm water before anything else. The moment you get up, before coffee, before breakfast, before checking your phone, pour 10–12 ounces of comfortably warm water. Not lukewarm, not boiling, just warm enough to feel soothing in your hands. Step 3. Add your boosters. Squeeze in fresh lemon juice. Add a pinch of grated ginger. These two natural allies will help your blood vessels respond better and reduce inflammation. Step 4. Drink it mindfully. Don't rush, take slow sips. Feel it wake your system up from the inside out. Picture your arteries relaxing, your blood flowing easier, your body preparing to respond like it used to. Step 5. Move. Within 15 minutes, do something to get your blood moving, a short walk, some stretches, light calisthenics. Think of it as opening the floodgates you just primed. Step 6. Commit for 30 days. Not one day, not 1 week, 30 straight mornings. Track how you feel in the bedroom, but also notice your energy, your mood, and even your confidence. Some of you will see changes in a week. For others, it may take the full month. But every single day you stick to this habit, you're telling yourself one thing loud and clear: I'm not giving up. I'm still investing in the man I want to be. And when you reach the end of those 30 days, you may realize you haven't just built a habit, you've built a new standard for how you treat yourself. So tomorrow morning it begins. And before we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. The same one I tell every man who sits across from me, ready to take back his health and his life. 9 final word. Gentlemen, we've covered a lot today. Why erections change after 60. Why something as simple as warm water can quietly repair your circulation. How the temperature matters more than you think. The exact ritual that works, and the habits that can either make it or break it. But here's what I want you to take away. This isn't about chasing some younger version of yourself. It's about honoring the man you are right now and giving him the tools to keep living fully, confidently, and connected. If you've been with me until now, I know you care about your health. So if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, not because I need a bigger number, but because I want you in this conversation every week. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, go ahead. That little click is the fuel that keeps this podcast alive. The reason I can bring you more science-backed tips designed just for men like you. Share this video with a friend, a brother, a workout buddy, someone who might need to hear that his best days are not behind him. And before you go, drop a comment below. Ask me a question, tell me your story, or just say, I'm in. I read every single one. This podcast isn't me talking at you, it's us building a community where men can speak openly, learn, and push each other to live better. I'm proud of you for showing up today. I wish you strength, health, and the kind of vitality that makes life worth living. Now, go fill that mug tomorrow morning and let's see what happens.